I didn't realize my family had already erased me, not until the chandelier above our table trembled like it recognized the insult before I did. My mother leaned in, her smile sharp as a butter knife. Be grateful we even invited you tonight, Riley. Don't linger. The forks paused. My sister checked her lipstick and her phone. My brother toasted the air. No one flinched. No one defended me. I pushed back my chair, lifted my glass like a quiet salute, and walked out of the restaurant. Nobody stopped me. They should have. Because 2 weeks later, the person they dismissed would end up tearing apart the foundation of everything they took for granted. Before I tell you how, here's what you need to know. I didn't always live on the edge of my family's picture frame. Once, there was a place where I felt solid. It wasn't a house, it was a small river lodge in Birch Hollow, a creaky old place where my grandfather taught me how to breathe. Every summer sunrise, he'd nudge me awake, lead me down to the riverbank, and place a worn wooden oar in my hands. Steady, he'd say. What's yours is yours to steer. At night, we roasted marshmallows until the stars came out. The old chest inside his room held the lodge's deed, and he'd tap it fondly. One day, this place will be yours. Protect it. After he passed, everything changed faster than I could blink. My parents claimed the lodge as a family retreat, even though my name alone was on the title. Suddenly, I wasn't invited until after plans were made. I wasn't in the group photos hung in the hallway. My siblings lounged on the dock I built, smiling like they owned the river. I became the family errand runner, the filler, the afterthought. Birthdays forgotten, achievements ignored. And the lodge, my lodge, became their trophy backdrop. The night of the chandelier whisper should have broken me, instead it sharpened me. 2 days later, my phone buzzed nonstop. The family group chat, full of photos, packing lists, sleeping charts for the upcoming lodge trip. I wasn't mentioned, not once. Then my sister typed, Riley doesn't need a room, she never comes. Followed by my brother. Just use her access code. Her access code, not my property. That same hour, a bank notification arrived, a joint account I didn't recall approving. My name next to my mother's, automatic withdrawals for lodge maintenance. My pulse steadied. Not from panic, from clarity. They weren't just forgetting me, they were financially piggybacking on me. The next morning, the sun came up pale and cold. I made coffee, opened my notebook, and wrote 3 words. Reclaim everything quietly. I pulled out my grandfather's old documents, found the deed, still smelling faintly like river mud and cedar, and took a long breath. At 7:30 a.m., I called Marin, a real estate lawyer who had once helped a friend of mine. Marin, I need to sell a property. Privately. Yours alone? Yes. And your family uses it? They do, I said, but they shouldn't have. She didn't ask another question. Send everything. I'll start today. By lunchtime, the listing was in motion. By evening, I had closed every joint account, removed my name from every shared financial tie, and canceled every automatic payment draining from my pockets. It took 2 more silent, careful days before Marin called. Riley, I have a cash buyer, full price. Closing in 48 hours. I stared at the ceiling and smiled. Do it. 2 days later, the lodge was no longer theirs to claim, and the firestorm began. My phone lit up with frantic messages. Mom, why doesn't the code work at the lodge? Sister, tell me you didn't do something stupid. Brother, the for sale sign better be a joke. I didn't answer. Next came the calls, the voicemails, the threats disguised as concerns, the concerns disguised as guilt. I stayed quiet. Then, someone buzzed my apartment. Riley opened the door, my father's voice. I let him in. He stepped inside like he was walking into unfamiliar territory. Is it true? He demanded. Did you sell the lodge? Yes. You closed everything tied to us? Yes. He stared at me, really stared, like he was finally seeing the adult standing in front of him. Do you realize the chaos you've caused? This time, I didn't flinch. I didn't cause chaos, I said. I ended it. I handed him an envelope, Marin's formal notice. He swallowed hard. Not from anger, from the moment he understood that the daughter he ignored had outmaneuvered them all. He left quietly. The silence he left behind wasn't empty. It was clean. The next morning, I stood by my window, mug warming my hands, watching the city wake up. My phone buzzed again. Apologies this time, desperation dressed as compassion. I let them ring, because this wasn't revenge, it wasn't punishment, it wasn't even anger. It was the moment I finally stepped into the space my family had spent years pretending I didn't deserve. A quiet beginning after a lifetime of being treated like a footnote. Some victories don't roar, they whisper, and sometimes the softest sound in the world is the click of a door closing behind you because you finally walked through another one.